Hey everybody, I hope you had a happy Halloween. I know I had a lot of fun, especially with this lady, and I wanted to share her with you before I put her away for the season. So I thought we would do a sort of boxing video today instead of our typical unboxing videos. Now this is the Lunging Haggard Witch, which I got from the at-home store a couple of weeks ago. They started putting their products on clearance before Halloween, which was wonderful. I wish more stores would do that. So it gave me a chance to purchase her and put her out in my haunt. I just didn't have time to do a video because it was all so last minute. So I thought we would take a look at her together and see what you think. Let me go ahead and bring the camera in first and we'll take a look at her up close. All right, so here you can see her face up close. It's very expressive. She's got these really awesome eyeballs that stick out, her sort of gross rotting teeth. Her hair's kind of stringy and falls down on, both sides. Now, if you actually take off her hat, she's kind of even creepier. So she could go with or without the hat. Here you can see in her outstretched hand, she's got these sort of black fingernails, and this nice wrinkle detail on her hand. Little skull detail on the top of her walking stick or staff. And her clothes have this nice sort of creepy cloth detail to give it an old woman look with her shawl here as well. Definitely, look at that hook on her nose. She is awesomely creepy. All right, so what did you think? I went ahead and plugged her in, so let's go ahead and see her activated. I think according to the box here, she does 4 different sayings.
Well, hello. You don't have to have some candy for a sweet little old lady, do you? Give it to me. You're too quick for me, but I'll get it next time. Do you not fear ugly witches? Perhaps you should, since one poisonous touch from me will wither your soul. Gotcha! You escaped my grasp. For now. Want to play a game of tag? If I catch you, I get to turn you into a toad. Abracadabra! Oh, crap. Judging by the speed you jumped back, perhaps you're a pot toad already.
All right, one last one.
Excuse me, can you help a sweet old lady find her cauldron? I can't seem to find it anywhere. I gotcha! Oh, if you weren't so fast, you'd be in my cauldron right now.
I don't know. Oh. Unplug her before she goes again. I really love her for some reason. I just think she's so sort of campy fun. She's not super scary. I suppose if you're a little kid, she kind of is. And in fact, if you watch my walkthrough video at night, there's one point where I'm starting to walk through where she is and she starts talking and there's a little kid that just happened to be coming the other direction and he jumped back. I don't know if maybe he was scared of me. I like to think it was the witch, but who really knows? I think she's awesome. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start taking her apart. One thing I was a little concerned about when I put her out in my haunt was her hat. The hat does not actually attach in any way to her head. Now, she looks creepy without it, but I was just worried that someone was going to make off with her hat. So that's pretty much one of my only complaints with her. I think she's pretty awesome. So let me go ahead and grab the box here and open it up. Actually, before we start putting things in the box, just to show you here, she is Lunging Haggard Witch. She is life-sized animated, and she stands a little bit over 6 feet tall. It is for ages 14 and up includes one lunging Haggard witch, one adapter. That's great. I love that you can plug her in. She doesn't run on batteries. And blah, blah, blah. So she lunges forward. She lights up. She has the moving mouth, 4 creepy sayings, and the motion sensor activation, which I thought actually worked pretty well too. I had her sort of in a dark area. It was a little room that I built. And even in the dark, if people walked by, she could still sense them and would do her little thing. So that's the box. She retailed for $170 at the at-home store, and I got her at 50% off. But I also signed up for their little mail program, which got me a 10% off coupon, which you can even apply to the sale prices. So I got an extra 10% off the 50%, which was great. All right, so she came very well packed. If you can see, like everything was wrapped in little wrappers. I am not going to do that as I put her back. I'm just going to throw her things in here. It came with a very detailed instruction sheet. And normally I like to try and put these things together without even looking at this, but it was pretty well needed because she's got a lot of parts and they fit together in a little strange way. I think the only thing that was sort of unclear was there was one section, I think, where it talked about having to connect something here, like some wires, but they were already connected in the box, so that was a little confusing. And somehow attaching the back of her shawl or something, if I remember, it was just a little awkward and the instructions didn't quite explain it fully. But other than that, it was very easy to read. It does also point out that there is an optional foot pad that you can use. But like I said, I didn't think it was even necessary because she was very functional as she was. So let's go ahead and pull her staff out. Now, this was pretty well constructed too. It just sort of comes apart in pieces. It locks together. You twist and lock it. So it doesn't just push together. It actually locks into place. So that's nicely constructed. And throw that in the box. All right, I'm gonna start taking off her clothing now. She has this little wrap that goes around her, and I wasn't really sure how to tie it, so I just kind of knotted it in front so it all stayed together. But there you go. You can kind of see she's got so many different layers here, and they kind of Velcro together. Like here's her top shawl, which we can just pull off first, or cape or shawl or whatever it is. I think it's a shawl. Anyway, so let's throw that in the box. And next, let's pull off her shirt and start to expose the inner workings inside here. And I think she looks pretty good here on my fireplace. I might have to leave her here next year. Now I was, well, never mind. Her arm has already come detached. Her arms have these, let's see, I think I might have to pull it out the sleeve here. It also Velcros on the arm, which is nice, so it stays in place. But you can see it's got a lot of movement, so when she lunges, her arm has this sort of realistic movement. Throw that in the box. Let's pull off. All right. Let's go ahead and take her arm off. Now, her arm pieces sort of just go into the little slot, and it's really nicely constructed with two sort of pins that hold it in place where it needs to be. I'm going to show you in a minute how some of the other pins work, and I thought it was very cleverly designed. But let me first get her arm out. It's kind of catching on her fabric. There we go. So the other arm is already sort of bent into place, and you can't really adjust that. I mean, you might be able to, but I think it's definitely supposed to be at this angle, so you don't want to. Okay, here it looks like, oh, there is the sensor that we had to manually push into the fabric here. So I'm just gonna pull it out. It Velcros into place. And I think this might've been one of the pieces, or I don't know, that it kind of indicated you have to clip together already, but it was already done. All right, so just to make things easy, I am going to take off her head. Now this, we did have to connect the wires, and it's very easy because there's just one white wire and one black wire, and you just push them together. Go ahead and pull off her head. It also has those nice 2 pins on the back where she fits in, and it's not going anywhere. I kind of expected her to have more hair, but this really is just perfect amount of hair because it just kind of flows into the front where you want it to be. You don't really have to worry about the back too much because she has the shawl and her hat. But the face itself is this rubber material. It's not hard, it's more like a mask material. So when she talks, it gives it that more realistic facial movement, like its skin. I really liked it. All right, throw her in the box. Here, kind of, there's just a lot of pieces that fit together to give her her body shape. What I thought was kind of neat was that, when it has 2 pins that go in, one of them is a much thicker pin, one's a thin pin, so that it can only really go in one way. So it's hard to mess up. They make it really easy. So we'll throw that in. Let's see. I think I can pull this off now. Maybe. We'll get to that in a minute, I guess. All right. So the body assembly just sort of pins into place like all the other sort of figures. I'm going to just pull that out, maybe, if I can in a minute. All right. I'm going to pull off her piece there. Here's just sort of her hip wires. Again, it's got the one thick pin and one thin pin. Like everything came, oh, I can't really take that off yet. Everything came with little stickers on it. In fact, there were far too many stickers in my opinion. They were on everything, like all her clothing pieces and so forth. And really, I spent a lot of time just peeling off all the stickers so she didn't look strange. All right, almost got it. I think these things fit very tightly together. All right, so her body piece with all the moving mechanisms is all just one piece. And there wasn't really any indication as to where or how this power adapter is supposed to go. So I just ran it down through her skirt and out the back where I had my outlet. But it just plugs in and out. So let me go ahead and throw this in the box. So the box is starting to get full. All right. And now we can pull off her hip piece. And throw this power cord down there. Pull off her skirt. I'm just gonna sort of wad up her shirt and skirt together. Throw that in the box. Power adapter. And then just a couple of base pieces left to go. It's very, the instructions are very detailed. So, they always tell you to put like the little, the pole with a little extra clip piece on the outside, so forth. So it is very simple to put together. And actually, as we're looking at the base, I really like that they built up a little stick piece where her staff goes into. Because like some of the other props, like the Reaper that we did when it's got its big scythe, there's no way for it to like stay in place. It will, it's got little tiny pins that you could put in, put the base of it on, but that's not what it's meant for, and it just goes all over the place. This was really well designed so that, her staff will go exactly where you want it to, like they actually thought it through. So that's it. Let's see. I can just almost get it in place here. I don't want to crush her little head, but it's a little harder going in than it was coming out. So, but that's as close as we're going to get for today. So, one figure down, about a dozen more to go. That's it for today. Let me know what you think of the Lunging Witch. Did you get her? They actually had at the at-home store, I think she was new this year, but there was another one too. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Reaper of some sort. It's also lunging, but I don't know. There was just something fun about the witch. I guess it was kind of like her cackle or something. I just think she's hilarious. But let me know what you think in the comments below. That's it for today. I still have a lot more of the Halloween things that I bought this year that I just never got around to reviewing. So I'm going to be lingering on with a few more Halloween reviews. So stay tuned for those if you're interested in that. And there were so many things that I bought in the years past that I did not put out this year at all. But maybe we'll take a look at those too. So stay tuned. That's it for today again, as I keep saying, but this time for real. Happy haunting if you're still doing it. If not, next year. See you around, guys. Take care.
Want to play a game of